so fortunate to garden in the Pacific Northwest. We have so many wonderful gardens and generous gardeners who are willing to share their private garden retreats. Today, we're going to be touring the garden of my friend Linda. Linda is an experienced gardener. Her use of color is unmatched and her garden is inspiring. She's a talented glass artist, and we'll see some of her work and the work of others artfully displayed in her garden. Today's video is part 2 of a 2-part series, and in this video we'll be doing a walk and talk with Linda as we explore her beautiful garden. If you enjoy getting these behind the scene looks at beautiful gardens as much as I enjoy taking you, then you will want to make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out some of my other garden tour videos. And I have to tell you, I have had the most fun walking through your garden today, and I'm so thankful that you opened the garden for us, and I appreciate that so much.
So happy to have you.
Yeah, it's like, so Linda, as I said before, we've been friends for many years now. I don't even know, 20 some probably, and you know, she's fellow Hardy Plant Society member, avid gardener, and her garden, like most, has changed a lot through the years, and it's been fun watching it change and evolve through the years. So how long have you been gardening here again?
We moved in 1992, and I probably got kind of serious about 1994.
Yeah, were you a gardener before, or
Not really.
Not really, yeah.
Interested, but not.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
didn't know what I was doing.
Then you got the bug, right?
Moving in next to Joanne helped.
Yeah,
we kind of egged each other on over the years.
Yeah, I was thinking about your backyard garden when I was filming, and I was noticing those shade cloths, and it reminded me of a big renovation that you did. How many years ago was that now?
In the backyard?
Yeah, yeah.
That was in 2011.
2011. And so I don't know if I'll have any photos of that, before photos of that back there. But as I recall, you had like a big old cherry tree back there, and you had grass, and it was quite different. So
yeah, some beds around the edges.
Yeah, so what was
fence.
as I think about it, I think I am going to be able to come up with some before photos. So that's always fun for people to see.
I have some too.
Oh, good. It's always fun for people to see. But tell us about that renovation, because I think it really changed how you use your garden. And
yeah, I always loved courtyard gardens, and I decided to do something a little bit less northwest, but not quite Italian villa.
Was it inspired?
Our house is stucco, so I could take off from that.
That's true. Was it inspired somewhat by some of your travels?
Yes, yeah. Okay. And the idea of, a really nice place to sit and eat and hang out with friends.
I have enjoyed a meal there. It's a beautiful spot to do that.
And we really wanted a fountain that we could run all year long.
So what makes that fountain one that you can run year round?
Some serious engineering.
Serious engineering. Gotcha.
It's hooked up to our water system and automatically refills if it runs low, which of course in the winter it doesn't. It's mostly filled by rainfall. And it's a recirculating fountain. There's a large tank under the ground.
Okay, all right. And because it's so much, it recirculates and the tank is deep, is that why it doesn't freeze? Or?
Yes, it doesn't freeze. The water actually is quite warm in there in the winter. The birds love it.
Oh.
It's sort of warmer than the ambient, probably because it's picking up the heat from
So do you get some pretty good bird action in there?
Yes, particularly in the spring.
Nice, nice. That's so fun. You have had bird feeders out here at different times, and you had the goldfinches. That was always fun to see them just flocking here.
Yeah, we had a lot of them this spring too.
Yeah. But your garden in general has a lot of, I'm seeing all sorts of insect activity, and it's, hot afternoon, so maybe the birds are a little bit more quiet right now, but.
Yeah, it's a pretty rich environment for insects, and I try to grow a lot of pollinator plants.
Nice.
And not be too tidy, and always have some water for the insects.
Yeah. How do you do you have any? I was noticing when I was touring, I was noticing very jealously that your some of your clematis are, they're spotless, they're beautiful, and I am really struggling with like powdery mildew and aphids right now. Do you do anything special to care for your clematis?
No, I have had certainly both aphids and powdery mildew, mostly in the backyard where there's less airflow. The other thing is the whole garden is irrigated, and I think just having a steady source of water,
Right.
Powdery mildew is very much a product of under and over watering in sequence, and so I think that helped.
Yeah, I think that's part of mine. I am not probably as consistent as I need to be in terms of the care and maintenance of my clematis.
Well, it's really hard in a complicated garden to give everything its proper.
Tell me about
proper due.
Tell me about it. But we do what we can and try not to get too, I don't know.
Anal.
Yeah, we try not to get too wrapped up in the right way, because I have found the longer I do this, the more convinced I am that there is no one way.
And also, the older I get, the less I want to do, and so the garden is taking care of itself a lot more now than it did when I was younger.
Have you changed the way that you garden, or your garden has just gotten more
mature? You're looking right now at a piece of the garden that demonstrates it. I just let everything sort of scramble together, and
like in the past, you used to maybe divide plants a little bit more.
Or stake them up or whatever. And I'm doing more Chelsea chop, which reduces the size of the plants and the bloom.
So the Chelsea chop, just to make sure that everybody kind of understands what that is tell me what you mean by that.
This doesn't work for all perennials, but for many perennials, you can cut the plant back hard at the end of May. Chelsea chop is named for the time of the year when the Chelsea Flower Show happens in England, which is the end of May.
Yeah.
And it'll cause the plant to put out more heads and sometimes lower. Not always. I can show you a really good example right down this path if you want to see.
Because I bet I don't do that for daylilies.
You don't do it for daylilies or anything that will lose its bloom. But this particular,
this is a good idea.
Yes, that was Chelsea chopped, and the one down past the arbor here was not. And you can see the difference in the bloom head.
So let's see if we can get that. My shadow is not so great right now on this, but what we're looking at here is a sedum, and I'm going to guess it's maybe just autumn joy, or something like that.
Yeah, something like in that family. This one happens to have pink flowers. Pale pink flowers.
So this one is really compact. It's not flopping or not leaning. And then the other one back here, which I don't know how well we'll be able to see it, but its stems are much longer and it's a little bit more floppy. And by the end of the season, it might
open up in the middle. And the heads are, more broccoli-like. And this is something you can just manipulate for how you want it to look, or if you have experience with a plant really, breaking open in the middle, it can really work. It works on a lot of the perennials that have will rebloom if you deadhead them. Because it means that they'll bloom from a lower section of the stalk.
I think I've tried it on like asters. So asters for me are very successful, so successful that they flop.
Yes.
So I have tried to remember to cut those back early, and it's helped a lot.
There's a big stand in part of the garden here of Monarda bee balm, and they can also get really tall and really floppy.
Nice.
And one of the things I do is I don't cut every stem to the same length, so you still get some variation
so it doesn't
in when it blooms. Some blooms earlier, some blooms a little later.
So it looks a little bit more relaxed, maybe too.
Yeah, and it also it sets back the bloom time when you do that, and so you can also extend your season that way.
Nice. Those are good tips. Thank you. One of the things I really admire about your garden and the way the scenes that you create is you know, your use of color. I mean, you're just such a talent in that respect.
Thank you.
How do you pull that off? What are you thinking about when you know, work through a bed? Is it something you think through a lot? Is it?
I'm not a terribly scientific gardener.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I'll find a plant that inspires me. I usually plant first for foliage color and
Nice.
texture,
Okay.
because that'll be around a lot longer than any of the flowers. And then I have a palette that I like.
Yeah, so I can see the palette.
Orange is one of my colors.
Yeah.
And I like to contrast it with purple and hot pink.
Yeah. Yeah. Orange and hot pink is a favorite, because a lot of people, that is a tricky one, but you pull it off with a plum.
Well, part of the trick is to also have echoes in softer versions of those colors. Like this lily that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I see that. Makes me think about also the use of art is very purposeful, and as an artist, a accomplished glass artist, we've seen a lot of pieces in your garden, which I will say again, are pieces that Linda has done. And so which comes first for you? Like, oh, I need to do a piece of art to go in that part of the garden, or I want to complement it, or how do you go about placing your art?
Well, when this space was new and we were building it, it was a very conscious decision to make a gate that had glass panels in it that complemented the colors in both my garden and Joanne's garden.
Nice.
And also sort of the arts and craft nature of our homes.
So that glass work, I had forgotten when I was looking at this the other day, but I don't know why I forgot it, but that is your glass work as well.
Yes.
So the gate was very purposeful in its development. But tell me about this piece.
Well, that wall was actually created, it used to be a wood wall, it's created out of concrete, and we had them leave a window in the wall so that the light would come through.
Nice.
And I, at that time, was really into casting glass, and each of the impressions in those glass panels are taken from molds I made in wax from leaves in both of our gardens, mine and Joanne's gardens.
Oh, I love that. It just makes it really special and meaningful, and you know, and it's just a gorgeous backdrop. And I love things that allow the light to, you know, play its part. I was really taken with this interplay also in terms of the glass work and the Sarracenas. So one, how do you make your Sarracenas look so fantabulous? And two, tell me about that glass work.
The Sarracenas are incredibly easy to take care of. I leave them out summer and winter, and all they really need is sun and water.
They don't need any winter protection?
No winter protection.
Okay.
Now, I will say that this backyard is somewhat more protected than the rest of my garden because it's not subject to much wind.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would matter with the Sarracenas as long as they don't freeze hard. And the trick is to find something to put them in that doesn't crack in the winter.
Oh, yeah, I see now that you have got these enamel bowls that are kind of sloped on the side.
Yeah, the old vintage wash tubs.
Nice.
Is something I found.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that before.
And I leave them, you know, they get kind of messed up in the winter, some of the leaves die, and I just prune them in the spring and clean them up. And
yeah, those are great.
So they're wonderful on the tabletop all winter long. You can admire them.
Yes, I don't currently have one. I need to start over and get one again. We saw a really great stand of them in Erin's garden the other day.
I think she has them in the ground, doesn't she?
She's got a container also, and we were talking about feeding them. So tell me, do you feed yours?
They feed themselves. The insects crawl down, and they can't get back out because of the way the hairs grow inside the funnels. And when I do cut off a leaf, there's debris at the bottom, which is the digested insects.
Nice.
So they kind of feed themselves.
Yeah, that's so fun. But they are just a fun plant.
Mm-hmm. And these are all in individual pots. There's like 4 pots in each one of these, maybe 3 in that one. These are pieces I made once I had the garden and could kind of see the direction it was going in. And I wanted to bring out the orange a little bit, but also the greens of the garden.
Oh, nice.
So it was inspired by the garden.
I see that now. I see that now. That's a great story. I love that. And it does really reflect your plant palette, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love those colors.
And actually, if I can see that you should carry a photo of this around with you in the nursery so you can kind of check yourself with your flower colors.
It even has lavender and purple in it, which I think is a really great softening contrast against the orange.
I know.
Cools it down a little.
It's like the clematis that we looked out. I can see a lot of the things that we've seen in your garden in this glass. You know, that soft lavender. We saw several clematis like that. We've seen the greens. We've seen the reds.
And I don't use a lot of white in the garden, but I do like creamy whites a lot.
And that's what's in this glass. Not sure that's going to show on the screen, but it is definitely a creamy white versus a bright white. Tell me about, I recognize this plant, but I don't see it grown this way very often. Tell me more about that.
It is a jasmine. It's planted directly in the ground in one spot in the middle there. It doesn't root into the ground.
It doesn't?
And it has been there for quite a number of years. It was a pleasant surprise to see how hardy it was. It also is evergreen, and so the yellow and green colors are there in the winter. The fresh spring growth is orange.
Right, so right in your color palette, right?
Right in my color palette. And it's actually so long now that it's climbing down the stairwell that happens to be behind here. And this is an entirely green palette here. There is a heather over there that blooms in the winter. But other than that, and the summer blooms on the tree, it's pretty much
kind of one of the quiet spots for the garden. And some excellent winter structure. But of course, I always have to point out when I see a Stewartia, I got to make sure people see it because it's a favorite, and anybody that's watched any of my videos knows that I always go gaga over them. So you got a Stewartia pseudocamellia there.
Yes. It's a great small tree for the spot.
Yeah.
Gives us a little bit of shade on the back of the house.
You get some nice bloom in summer. Looks like it's already bloomed.
It's already bloomed. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
Cupped white flowers.
And I bet you in fall.
Spectacular fall color.
I know. It has wonderful. And then right by your window, you're able to really see it and enjoy it. That's great. Perfect placement. So we've talked a lot about your color palette, and I want to talk about that because that's one of the things, again, that I think you do so well. And we've been talking about I'm going to call it your hot color palette in the more sunny parts of the garden. But this feels like you might be doing something a little different.
Definitely, I really see this more as a kind of a pastel and rose colored, in the loosest sense, palette up here.
Maybe a little romantic.
Yeah, yeah. And this part of the garden is pretty low maintenance. The shrubs, of course, once you get them going are pretty low maintenance, and I believe very strongly in ground covers and showing no dirt, because that really keeps the weeds down.
We sure enjoyed looking at that Japanese forest grass on your front slope. I think I have always admired that planting. And how do you care for that, or what? Do you have anything to say about that part? Because I think it's really unique.
Yeah, and above it, under a lot of these bushes here, is the dwarf version of Sarcococca, the sweet box, right? Which is very fragrant. A lot of plants up here are planted for winter fragrance. The Japanese forest grass, I bought it as a bunch of gallon pots separated by, many feet, because it's not real cheap. And over the years,
especially at the time you planted that.
Yeah, I planted this in 2000. And since 2000, I have not done a thing to the Sarcococca, And all I do to the grass is rake it out in the fall after it's turned this beautiful yellow color and then tan and breaks.
There's a certain calmness to the entry, a certain serenity and sophistication.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what makes that, I think, so marked for me is that you have that, and then we open up to these more exuberant spaces.
It's hard to do exuberance in a shade garden, I've discovered. It lends itself a lot more to the softer palette, I think.
Yeah, soft. Yeah, you can get it with. I think you can get that drama. I mean, you do drama, so maybe that's not what you're talking about. You certainly are getting drama in shade.
A lot of that, I think, is foliage contrast.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, and the plant you were just filming, which is a
ligularia.
Thank you. It has screaming orange flowers.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Later
yeah.
in the season.
That
so
is
I haven't
true.
completely abandoned it.
This bed here also has kind of a quiet sophistication, and a lot of evergreen plants. What am I seeing in there? I see some Beesia. That looks familiar.
Best plant on the planet.
Isn't it?
It's a wonderful plant. It looks like that summer and winter.
Yeah. Yeah, just handsome. And, you know, glossy foliage in shady locations, that can be a really effective way to bring light into a space, don't you think?
Absolutely. Some of my paler ferns are in here, again, to reflect the light. Especially under this giant hydrangea.
I know. We looked at this a little while ago, and that, you know, talk about plants that capture the light. I don't know if is this ever backlit?
Yes, it's backlit at noon, and like from about 11 to about 2, the sun comes through overhead in that gap over Joanne's house, and it just glows.
Did you, was that a happy accident or and you can just lie and tell me it was totally on purpose.
I had it in pot for a number of years and it didn't do well. I think it just really wants to be a tree. And so I tried planting it when I was messing around in here, and it's just taken off. In fact, every year I reduce it in height. I haven't done that yet this year.
It is one of the happiest ones I've seen. I tried it once and it did not like me. Of course, I was trying to do it in a container.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's just one of those trees that does not want to be crowded.
No, and it wants you have to
water it. This is a watered bed.
Yeah, this is a watered bed. Yeah. I know I'm going to get asked about it. What's your watering situation? Do you know, or your strategy? How do you handle irrigation in your garden?
I have in-ground irrigation. I've had it for quite a number of years now with pop-ups. So everything is buried except for the watering heads, which pop up out from the pressure when you turn on the irrigation. And the reason I have that kind of irrigation as opposed to drip, and I understand the environmental goodness in drip, is that I have so many plants and I move plants all the time that it's very easy to cut through a drip system, and it's very easy to have a lot of dry spots in a drip system. So for my kind of gardening, an overhead spray, you know, close to the ground works really well. I only irrigate after sunset and before sunrise.
Oh, good. Okay, that seems like a good strategy. Watering, getting that right is such a struggle. Such a struggle. We all struggle with it, but it sounds like you have good strategies in place.
The garden is also zoned, and I try to put plants that need similar water conditions together, so for instance, this shade garden remarkably doesn't need that much water compared to the more floriferous garden in the back, because the sun doesn't hit it.
Yeah, right. So and at that, and your soil makeup is pretty moisture retentive with all of the clay. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your container collection, again, is something that I just really keep admiring. And looks like, what is your strategy for do you have certain strategies for deciding where to put the pots or how to group your pots?
Yeah, I think it's really important to make pots in the same color tones grouped together in a section of the garden. All of the pots in the front yard here are this teal blue and variations on that. And in other parts of my garden,
various shapes, various sizes.
Yeah, they don't have to be identical pots. They just have to read as, a collection that doesn't have any jarring elements in it.
These two are looking really great together.
Yeah, I really like the blue tones in there, and they're quite close to that blue pot next to the blue Chamaecyparis, so that all really works well together.
Oh yeah, that color echo. Let's see if I can get that. Our eyes see more than the camera can see, right? Our eyes connect these two, and so I'm trying to do that on the
same
camera.
For that one over there,
Yeah, it's just like
that matte blue.
We'll do that color connection for people so they can see what we're seeing. We've got this blue hosta to the interior foliage of that blue, the interior color of that hosta. Then we're playing against the container, and then we bounce over to the Chamaecyparis, the blue Chamaecyparis, and then we're back here, and our eye can do that. And it, even if it doesn't know that it's doing that, those connections are what really hold the garden together. This has been such a treat, and I have just really enjoyed, walking through your garden and talking our viewers through, giving them that full tour, but then coming back and circling back and having such a nice conversation with you.
Well, I loved sharing the garden with you. And I want to put in a plug for eGardenGo.
Oh, well, tell me more. What is eGardenGo?
I have given so many friends who are sort of beginning to middle gardeners who want to have a little bit more knowledge and structure in their garden the link to eGardenGo, and they have all really appreciated it.
Nice.
It's a fantastic website and a fantastic YouTube channel.
Are they using it for plant combination ideas?
I think combinations, and also some planting plans too.
Some what plants?
Planting plans.
Yeah, planting
and
plans.
Also trying to find plants that are appropriate to the conditions in the section of their garden.
Yeah.
I think it's really opened their eyes to a lot more options than they knew about before.
Nice. Well, that warms my heart. That makes me so happy, and it's very motivating for me to know that people are finding value in the site and the planting plans.
I wish it had been around when I started out.
Well, this has just been wonderful, and thanks so much, and then maybe we'll get a chance to come back and visit with you again.
You're always welcome.